Once again, we are brought together. I can rhyme it all. You know how it goes in any weather. But I'm not. Because this was very funny. This is like the funniest things have just keep happening to me. And it's only because I notice. Okay? For instance, I go to buy some books, and I give her $100. And in return, it costs me, my cost, okay, was 21.12. 21.12, 2012. It just means in the first time on this side. Because the first year, it says 0, but it's the first year of this cycle. So 21.12 and 2012 is basically the same. But it does say 12.12. I gave him 100, so my change was 7.8, 8.8, 3.8 in the passage gates. So that's one stupid bill. And I went over and bought something else. The bill came out to $16.62. And this is one of the numbers I was just working on, but that's irrelevant. Because what was left over, my change on a $20 bill this time, so we inflicted the 20, was 3, command and create the Christ, of the 8th. I keep talking about the 15th of September, and that the 3-month, 3-week, 3 days from the eclipse of the 21st. And it was funny, today a guy right in front of me says, you know what, we have to wait till the 15th of September. I thought that was pretty weird. And the other thing that came out that I was actually doing is, they made a mistake with Neil Armstrong. He died. He really did. The date today that he died, let's say the 30th of August 2018, let's say. That'll bring him into the 90s. I'm going to give him a few more years. I'm going to give him a few more years than everybody else did, because they misinterpreted the one who walked on the moon for the singer. And they were wrong, and they had to come back and say it. But, obviously, I'm bringing this up because there's something else that touches, is that last night I was looking up when the full moon is actually on the calendar dated. And when I found it, I went online and looked under home in Facebook, and somebody had just said something about the moon, and all of a sudden today somebody told me something else about the moon, and now all of a sudden I get home and the first man who walked on the moon apparently died in name, but still alive on this earth. But the first man to walk on the moon. Now, I played with it, everybody. Does everybody figure that one out? I played with it. First man to walk on the moon. 3 or less. I write out the 3 letters. If it's 4 or more, I only write out 1. Why? Because here's a triangle. We go 1 to here, and 1 to here, and then this one over to here. That's 3. There's 1 missing here. There's no conformity. The lines are automatically not the same. Now you can turn it anyway, and it's the whole thing is the same thing. So not till 4 can 2 and 3 exist. Because 1 goes to 2, 1 and 2 go together. They make babies that turn out to be the 4. In the electronic world, that is transferred on to number 4 in this world, which is 6. It could be 4 if we reversed it. I mean, everything is really double. It's 4B or 4A, 2 rooms. And another thing for 2 rooms is when you go towards the center, like where the number 5 is, like 1, 2, 3, there's a box around everything. When 1, 2, 3 cross, okay, it's like this. But in the center, there's a ball, and it can't cross. So that's why we have the short arms of the E and the F. Another thing about to walk on the moon is I shortened it, the first man to walk on the moon. And then I wrote it down here. Again, female and male transmission of the beta creation. On is off. TH, okay, EM, which means to hem them on. How can I say it? TH is, first of all, male, okay, and female. He and she. He has an H. She has an S. They both finish with the E because that's what it is. Female and male transmission. the AT field, the incoming and outgoing of the pulse, running through the system, seemingly always at the same beat, seemingly always at the same beat. So what I ended up doing, instead of going, first man went to the moon, I changed it into where the female and male transmission, W of second evaluation creation, because it is the one inside the two that creates the three. We don't need the one, because he's inside three. So then we go, instead of 1, 2, 3, we go 2, 3, 4. But nothing really exists until the 4 comes out, okay? Because then we don't have anything here, so we'll put the 4 first. And the creation of who he was, and then from what world he came out of. Transmission, one of them. F-man to one, T-H-M. Then it comes out to the end where F is the 6th letter. Sick man, 2 1/5, me. 6 man, I'm 2 of 1/5 is me. I don't know how the numbers work. That's what it says. Yes, I made it up. Yes, it can look stupid. Yes, it can make no sense at all. It doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense to me, but I see where it's going. Because I'm directing it to an area where I can believe there's something in it. First man to walk on the moon. The initials, FMT. Female male transmission of the beta creation, omega passage. On is omega passage, okay? Because the N is the 14th, the O is the 15th. O and N are the first 4 numbers in pi. 3.1415, 14, 14, 14. The 14th letter is 14. 14, 14, and 14 is 42. And that's the letter count for 5 and 9. I mean, I can go over 1,000,001 things. If you don't know what it means, you're not interested. If you are, ask me something about it. I can explain it to you. The other thing about 101 is because you start off at 0, you go around to 9, and then you go back after 9. After 9 is 0 because it's 10. It's second level, and then back to 0 of the second level. So that's where we get 101, because it's 1 on this level, to the 0, to the 1 on the other level, 101. But everything starts at 2, and that's why on your telephone, usually the A will have an exclamation point or some other, or rather nothing at all, because that's what it is. The telephones are the same thing. I didn't do my telephone yet, but I like it, because it's set up into groups, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, in which it's showing me 4. Because of the up here, it's showing me there's another level of 4, 4, 4. Just like on your telephone, the last 4. And like I've mentioned that before, it's the same thing. You're on what level? We're on level this. And the 3 numbers that you are in that level. Give me 3 numbers that you are in that level. Normally, it's usually 5, and then whatever the other 2 numbers are. Somebody just jumped. What else can there be? There's so many things. +3 and -3. Let's say you go to 8, because that would be 8, the pool ball. So you'd go down to 5 and up to 11 from 8. Okay? Now, if you do that, and you look at the roulette table, or you look at your telephone and keep counting up to 9, 10, 11, you will see that all 3 numbers will be vertical in the center of all the other numbers. It's just like that. And it's the same thing for number 1, because number 1, number 4, number 7, they're all by 3s. This is one kind of a game. Another game that I just did, but I didn't check the numbers yet, is I went to put in gas. I put in $40 worth of gas. They gave me, what did they give me? I marked it down somewhere. Let me take a check. I put in $40 worth of gas. The price was $1.34.9 a liter and 29.65 2 liters. So I got to figure out how these numbers actually came to be, because I got all the answers right here. I just have to figure out the rest and then put it in the new definition category of what it all means, the liters and the gallons and the imperial gallon and the American gallon. And they say imperial, I-M-P. I mean, one more letter with a P, you got a pimp, so you got imperial. And then you have the U.S. gallon, and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to get into this right now. Where else? What else do we have? Yes, if we're cutting things up in slicing them down diameter, and we go 180 degrees, okay, there will be 6 levels of 30 degrees to make the whole 180. But you do not want to touch the fence of one of the levels. So how much would you actually break it up to? They would all be 29 degrees, every single one of them. There will always be a 2 degrees separation. The space is not lost. It's the number that is put on it, what is between, like number 2. Between two 29s, 29 and 29 will make 58 degrees, and then the 2 that's in between, so they don't touch each other, will make the actual 60, 30, 30. So it continues on. You do the same thing on the football field, and then you bring it down to yards, the single yards. And that's why they have the marks for the single yards. Is it a meter? No, it's a yard, which is like 3 feet. But a meter is like 3.33, which is because of the Christ, command and create. So there is a difference between the metric system and the regular North American, I guess I'll call it the U.S. system, because I don't think they really changed anywhere. There is, and there's a reason for it. Well, at least I see it. You know, I see it. I didn't talk about, you know what I was going to work on, because I had a dream last night about the Bernstein Bears. I don't know why I had that dream. I dreamt about the Bernstein Bears, and now I have to look at it. But if you think about the Bernstein Bears, the first 3 letters of Bernstein is B-E-R. And that's September, October, November, December. 4 of them. 4 of them. 4 of them in a row. Stein. You can just read it backwards and go Einstein. Start, stop, stall. Ein. Actually, it's the last 3 letters of my name. If you read it backwards, it says knee, which to me means my nest, or it could be my knee. When I think of knee and having to put the K, it becomes the nickel. Pumpernickel. Pumpernickel. The Jews like pumpernickel. The nickel is very important. It's got a beaver on it. And beavers are usually females, and they're important. So we've got something good in the pumpernickel, because we got the nickel. And of course, you're going to pump her, so you pump her full of nickel, and there you go. You got the pumpernickel. Maybe get a little bit of lox and cream cheese, right? Maybe a big onion, an Orion onion of some sort. I don't know. I always like that purple onion myself. Not sure what world I'm in. Know which world I want to be in. I want to be split up. Okay, what's next? We finished on the Bernstein Bears, and everybody knows, like I said, the last and only letter to do this in the alphabet with the letter A, okay, is the letter R. And I'm trying to look for it. Oh, there it is. Here, because you see, when you say bears, okay, if you can say B, you can say B, you can say B, you can say bean if you only see part of the R. If you made it really bad, it looks like a bean, right? But it's ours. It's yours, it's mine, it's ours, okay? The bears. Give me a bear hug, something we hold on to. We must put in the new definitions to see the value, the true value of the completed understanding of sentences and phrases now. So where else, what else is there? There's so much. I'm not even sure where to start. Months, days of the year, don't know. Don't know. How about this? You want to know a real important number? I'm going to tell you one of the most important numbers in baseball. Okay. When the number 6 comes to a result, that number 6 is the most important one in baseball. In fact, in 27 innings, if they scored no runs and no hits, it will take 6 pitches to 27 batters without any foul balls, or you can have foul balls within the first 2 pitches, but here's the way it goes. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the next pitch is going to be the result. Regardless, you are on base by a walk, hit, bunt, hit batsman, or you're out. It'll be counted as the 4th ball. The 4 and the 2 strikes would make the 6th, and that is your result. Or it is still the 3rd ball, but you have now associated yourself with a 3rd strike. 3 and 3 is command and create, and you're going back to the dugout because it was the pitcher that was commanding and creating of that pitch. 6 to 27 batters is 120, is 162, a number I've been working on. It equals to 162. 6 times 27 is 120, and 42 is 162, 261. 6226, a universal number. The reason we have this, okay, the only reason there's 6 numbers here. We don't need 6 numbers. All we need is actually these 2 here. 1, 6, and 2 is 9. 1, 2, and 6 is 9. You got 99. You got the life of the world. Beta God of 6. You can't go anywhere else. This is the maximum. There is 7, but the 7th one is the center. You have 1, 3, 7, 9, and 4 and 6. And then you have 1, 3, 7, 9, and 2 and 8. And the center in each, it's 7. That's it. You can't put any more. They just don't go. I don't understand. They just don't go. Because that's the way it's been in my mind and the way I learned it. True or false? This is the game. One day, it'll change. Maybe. What was I talking about? RBIs. The number 9 worlds of 9. Listen to this. RBI. 81 worlds, 9 by 9 to make the 81. 29 brings us to 10. 29 brings 1 to 10. 29 is B, and the 9th letter is I. RBI. 9 by 9, 81 worlds, and the birth inside them. The runs of who we are. 18, 20, total is of these 3 altogether is 29. Even if I add R is the 18th letter, B is the 2nd letter, is 20, I is the 9th letter, 29. It actually is the same thing. Magique. How it seems like we never even counted this one at all. And that's how it got to 1010, because this is going to be 18 or 80. Whichever way you put, you switch these. You know what I'm saying? It makes no difference. Okay, I'm going to show you one last thing. Can anybody see the W in this? Here's a W, and here's a V, right? But I'm just going to show you how it was actually designed. They're both letter Y's. But when you bring them together, it makes VW, which brings together the life. Because this is a corner. What you see here is a corner. You know automatically this end is a corner, and you know automatically that this end is a quarter. But this is the ace, right? All you have to do is turn it this way. Now you have the corner of Monopoly. You're either going this way or you're going this way. It's now a flat surface. Or you can hold it up and then it starts to look like a real corner. Raphael, 7286. Constellation of Pegasus. We have the big weekend coming up. Wow, the big weekend is coming up, my friends. Wow. The moon shall be the highest and brightest. I guess it's going to be tomorrow. They say it's the 2nd moon of the month. Well, I don't know if the first one came at the beginning or the last days of the other. But anyways, the moons are coming, and the moon is the transmission. The howl of the moon. I read somewhere today something about the moon. I don't remember what it was. But the transmission begins. Maybe the closing date, we'll see it by the 12th of September. I'm not sure. But it begins. Whatever it is, it's beginning very soon. Most likely the first moon. No, the first moon would be the 1st of September. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Make the 4th. Anyways, whatever it is. I just know that time is going faster and faster. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't know anything. But since it is, for me, it's going faster and faster and faster. So I grab on, I take a hold, and I go along with it. Slow it down just a bit so I understand it. And then follow its guidance. Raphael, 7286.